Well, let's go. Prehistoric Australia was pure nightmare fuel. Well, we already know how current Australia is, so if that's anything to go based on, if that's anything to go based off on, the current day one is probably worse. I mean, the prehistoric one. Fuck, I can't worse. Let's go.
Just like how everything is bigger in Texas, everything is deadlier in Australia. Mostly the nature, as it's home to a highly disproportionate amount of potentially lethal animals, having more venomous species than all but two countries.
It's over 50. It's just pure dark. You can't see because my big ass head is in the way, but it's pure black.
Yet, it takes the cake when only considering venomous animals that are fatal to humans. On top of this, it is home to 20 of the 25 most deadliest snakes in the world, including all of the top 11. And
20
it's the native
of 25, dude.
country of one of the only birds known to occasionally kill humans, the cassowary.
It's so cool,
Meanwhile,
though.
you also have the classics like the saltwater crocodile, great white shark, spiders, and potent jellyfish. And in case you needed a little more proof that Australia really is the land of nope, you should know that it's where some of the largest insects in the world call home,
He's
is
so
one of
big.
the few places where pine cones can kill you, and is
That's
where
a pine cone?
call home is one
No,
of the
get
few
out of town. That's a pine cone? That came from a pine tree? Oh my god, that falls down on you. It's over. Put it in your pocket. Dude, you're working under trees, that falls down, boom, GG. Death by pine cone. What a horrible, lame death, man.
places where pine cones can kill you, and is where the top 3 largest wildfires in the 21st century took place.
Yeah.
The list could go on, but you get the idea. So it may be hard to stomach the fact that Australia is actually much more tame than it used to be. And I'm not talking about the fact that it used to be home to dinosaurs, but rather giant monitor lizards and terrestrial crocodiles.
Well, at that point, that's a dinosaur. A giant lizard is a dinosaur. That lizard is a dinosaur.
Just to name a couple. And surprisingly, you don't even have to travel that far back to arrive at this forsaken Australia, as it reached its peak in chaoticness about 50,000 years ago.
Okay, 50,000 years is a lot. Okay, I thought he was gonna say like 200 years ago or something like that. That is pretty far.
Which is right around when humans first arrived. Talk about good timing. Back in those days, reptilian predators, not mammalian, ruled Australia. And it wouldn't take long for anyone to realize that something was
Hey, that's a dinosaur.
very wrong once they set foot on land, as
Back
there
in
were a
my
host
day.
of nightmarish creatures wandering around. One being a literal land croc.
Oh my god! Those are horses! Those are horses, bro! Those are horses! Nay. Nay!
Not a crocodile lookalike, but a genuine real crocodilian that happened to run comfortably on land. This creature was known as the Quincana, and it was one of Australia's top predators during the Pleistocene. It shared many features with the crocodiles we know of today, and was once even considered a true crocodile. Although, thanks to a very odd skull structure, it was moved to the extinct clade of Megaherbivores.
Oh yeah, of course. You know, I really care how it's qualified. It's the Megasukune. How about your Mekasukin on these nuts, man?
Along with the odd skull, paleontologists also noticed that it had some strange legs as well, that were very long for a crocodilian, allowing it to keep its body clear of terrain and potentially sprint. This has led to it being considered
Crocodile sprint! Crocodile sprint!
a terrestrial predator, with further evidence coming from its hoof-like toes and flat tail, which wasn't designed for swimming.
Land crocodile.
Unfortunately for all land dwellers, the Quincana was also no small critter, with most adults measuring 3 meters or 10 feet and weighing 200 kilograms or 440 pounds.
Okay, well, that's not horse. That's not enough to kill a horse like the picture, okay? That's 3 meters. That's not gonna do anything to a horse.
Making it nearly identical in weight to a medium-sized American alligator. Not to worry though, as there were larger individuals as well, with one specimen reaching
Okay, that's very scary. That's crazy. Oh wait, no, 3 meters. Wait. Never mind, I'm so dumb. The picture made it look small. 3 meters actually is huge. Wait, how much did he say? Am I stupid? Because it's lengthwise. Oh, is it lengthwise? Because this is a 1.8 meter tall person.
6 meters or 20 feet in length. At this size, it had no problem taking down mammals, including an unlucky human from time to time.
Oh my god.
Getting attacked by this croc was an absolute nightmare, as its teeth were designed to slice animals up like a filet mignon, with each tooth being blade-like, compressed, and heavily serrated. These kind of teeth are referred to as xiphodont teeth.
Jesus Christ, imagine nature gives you pre-serrated teeth, man. That's insane.
And is what was commonly seen in theropods. Having such vicious dentition let the Quincana take down animals that were considerably larger than itself, with each bite tearing through large portions of flesh and muscle. There's a chance as well that you couldn't even outsmart
He's just hungry, Chad. Leave him alone. He hungry.
This croc by jumping
He's
in the
not himself before he's had 5 tons of meat.
water, as there is some evidence that it was an accomplished swimmer, in spite of spending most of its life on land. Shockingly, or maybe by this point, unshockingly, even a terrestrial croc
Look at him.
that could swim and had dinosaur-like teeth wasn't safe from other Australian creatures.
That's crazy.
As there was also the largest known terrestrial lizard walking around, Megalania. There's a fair chance you've heard
that's
of
a dinosaur. That's a dino. That's just a dinosaur.
this reptile due to its recent popularity. Yet, you may not have heard that it's no longer known as the Megalania, rather Varanus.
Listen to me. Megalanium VTuber. You're welcome. You're welcome. Megalanium VTuber, giantess, okay?
Priscus, meaning it was actually a giant species of monitor lizard. Despite this classification change, the Megalania is still usually referred to by its original name. Perhaps because it's much more fitting as it translates to the Great Roamer. A nod to its massive size, and massive it was.
He's roaming.
Paleontologists never seem to agree on the exact measurements, but all estimates have given it a length of at least 3.5 meters
He's roaming.
or 11 feet, with an approximate weight of 158 kilograms or 348 pounds. So at the minimum, we are talking...
But the thing is, you're not thinking about the fact that I just sit on it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people are not considering the fact that I can just sit on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so flat, I could really truly just sit on it. And then it could not do anything. That's me, I just sit on its back. You know, I have a slight sense of deja vu with this, but I feel like I'll just sit on it. Like, what is it gonna do? I'm just here. I'm here. You know, I'm just here. Are you faster than it? I mean, I suppose, you know, it doesn't look that fast. Just step on it, step on top.
58 kilograms or 348 pounds. So at the minimum, we are talking about a lizard that was as long as a sea lion and as heavy as a reindeer. And at its maximum, things frankly got
Jesus, how is this picture real? Oh, that's probably like a statue of it, right?
crazy, with studies finding it to a
I was
potentially
like, oh, dude, how did they get one for the picture?
obtained lengths of up to 7.9 meters or 26 feet, which is based on fragmented remains that were scaled up to living monitor lizards. This would have made them just as lengthy as the longest recorded anaconda,
Ooh.
but 8.5 times heavier due to its
my
robust
God.
build, with an absolute
But
maximum
what if
weight
I just sit on it? Look at this. This is me. I'm here. I'm on top. He can't do anything. He can't even tell I'm there.
of 2 tons. However, for the most part, large Megalania were probably no more than 575 kilograms or 1,200 pounds.
Jesus.
Although it wasn't only a giant, as like living monitor lizards, the Megalania possessed razor-sharp teeth that were fairly long and recurved, granting extra grip while holding onto prey. The Megalania is further thought to have used its tremendously powerful legs and sharp
Oh
claws
my God, it is
to
fast.
bring down prey
It
and
is fast. Never mind. It's fast.
alike. Naturally, in true Australian fashion, the Megalania might have been venomous as well
Oh,
due
of
to its
course.
heritage, since all monitor lizards presently living are considered to be venomous. Their venom, similar to what is seen in some snakes, works as an anticoagulant, meaning it prevents blood from clotting, which leads to shock and infections as it keeps wounds open for longer periods of time.
I don't like to think about that.
And because the Komodo dragon, also known as the Komodo monitor, is the
I could sit on it.
Megalania's closest living relative, certain paleontologists believe that the two shared similar hunting tactics of biting prey, retreating, and then letting the venom do the work. So that's to say, even if you managed to get away from an attacking Megalania, you would still be doomed. All of these attributes make Megalania feasibly the worst thing you could have run into.
How did we win? You know, do you ever think about it? How do we win? You know, we humans, when we live with creatures like this, we won. Like, we did win. World is mine, okay? You know, Hatsune Miku, world is mine. We win. Easy. No diff, you know? You don't need the big, strong lizard, just the brain. Brain, man, brain. That meteorite did a lot of work. What do you think the time... In your head, what is the timeline on that? I just gotta ask. I do have to ask. How do you think the timeline happened on that? Do you think the meteor happened where we were around, man? Do you think there were prehistoric men and dinosaurs?
Ophidiophobia, a fear of snakes. In this case, your mortal enemy back then would have been Wambi.
Big snake.
This name may not sound like much, but it should strike fear into any who hears it, as it belongs to a now extinct giant serpent that lived right alongside both the Quincana and Megalania. This snake is unlike any we know of today, for it belonged to a family of now extinct snakes known as the Matsoidae.
Big snake. Just call it big snake, man. It's fine. We get it. The big snake.
Snakes from this family were primarily characterized by somewhat inflexible, primitive jaws and giant sizes.
Dude, thank God for autistic people, am I right? Because, like, otherwise, who else would have just went through the motion of actually caring about the species and stuff and making sure to give them names and classify them and compile all this knowledge and check their bones? Bro, come on. Thank God for autistic people, chat.
With the Wambi being one of the biggest. It didn't quite reach the length of the longest living snakes of today, but came awfully
like,
close.
I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't. That's crazy. It's exceptionally large python. I have an exceptionally large python. It's also 7 inches, that is. Is that 7 meters? God damn, 7 meters.
With the larger specimens having a length of 6 meters or 20 feet, equivalent to a large Burmese python. Luckily for us, the Wambi did break the Australian trend of possessing venom. Nevertheless, its size still rendered it a potent killer, who might have hunted in a very similar fashion to the extant
Dude, bro is just being constricted and showing the snake to the camera. What is wrong with you? You're actively being constricted and you're showing us the snake.
Constrictor snakes, which is to say, by using ambushes near bodies of water to strike unsuspecting prey that were then killed by tightening its muscles and squeezing the animal so hard that blood couldn't reach their brain or heart, thus incapacitating them. Afterwards, though, is where things got different. Because as mentioned, the Wambi had an inflexible and somewhat smaller head that couldn't swallow prey whole. This may sound like a good thing for prey, but in reality, it just made the snake more nightmarish. As to make up for this inability, it would simply use its sharp teeth and powerful body to tear chunks off prey,
just
sometimes even disemboweling them. Such an unpleasant way to go out may have been more common for early Australians than being preyed upon by the Megalania or Quincana.
Damn.
As one study found that in some indigenous populations today, snake attacks by constrictors are a common cause of death. By now, it would be reasonable for you to wonder how any mammal could survive living with so many reptilian horrors.
Yeah.
And the answer is, the mammals were just as crazy.
Oh god.
Best exemplified by the Phylocoleo.
Kangaroo. That's like a beaver lion. You know, I could do the whole naming animals thing. It's a beaver lion. You know, kind of looks like a beaver, but like it has the body of like a feline type of deal. Beaver lion.
This mammal is best known for its immense size, with adults being the largest known mammalian predators to ever live in Australia. On average, specimens were about the same size as a European wild boar.
See? A beaver lion.
while the largest Thylacoleo were on par with fully matured female lions and tigers.
She's got it. She's got it, man.
With whom it also shared a few characteristics. Yet, this was no feline. Far from it, actually, as the Thylacoleo was really a marsupial mammal that is most closely related to the koala.
It's a koala.
And like the koala, it's thought that the Thylacoleo had a smaller brain.
Okay, maybe it's a koala lion. It's not beaver lion, it's a koala lion.
However, in its case, a smaller brain was a huge advantage.
You know where else a small brain is a huge advantage? Being a VTuber. Brain so small I didn't even know what the right toggle was.
It gave the skull more space for extremely dense muscles and wide sturdy bones. That ultimately led to the strongest bite, pound for pound, of any known mammal. It's been estimated that a medium-sized Thylacoleo was capable of biting with the same force as a lion 2.5 times its size, leading paleontologists to suspect
because you have the
that
beaver teeth, you know, like the humanoid beaver horse teeth. They're very. It's a very foul bite, you know. To be bitten by a horse.
Marsupial was capable of taking down big-bodied prey that were 15 times heavier than itself, and it likely did so in an extremely unique fashion.
He's so happy. He looks like he's in an anime. You know, he's like, this is the anime ending, and it starts with da 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 da, and then it just shows peaks like this, bro. You know.
Thanks to its dentition, which consisted of large incisors that were similar to the elongated canines seen in other mammals.
Ooh.
Furthermore, it boasted giant premolars that almost resembled flat blades. Together with its powerful muscles, these bizarre teeth worked wonders, killing animals by piercing deep into the flesh with the incisors.
It's so weird to see a koala beaver viciously attack animals like a carnivore.
Premolars severed the poor animal's windpipe, spinal cord, and arteries, causing all sorts of fatal problems. This mode of killing was so efficient that researchers think it took less than a minute for this marsupial lion to kill large prey, while the same task for an African lion can take up to 15 minutes or more. And for whatever reason, if its bite didn't do the trick, the Thylacoleo had lethal claws as well. On each of its front feet, there was a single large retractable claw that was attached to semi-opposable thumbs. This implied it can move these claws around with ease and dish out killing blows if needed. These additional weapons were also hooked, leading to the idea that Thylacoleo was a climber who possibly dragged kills up trees like leopards do. Climbing further allowed it to navigate caves and rough terrain, adding another layer of complexity to this already overpowered marsupial.
Dude.
And so with all of this said, Australia had no doubt some pretty terrifying predators all around, making life fairly interesting for the first humans to arrive. And for them, they wouldn't even be able to find peace.
Oh my god.
Around the herbivores. As in response to biological killing machines, the herbivores got pretty ferocious.
What the hell? They're so buff.
Themselves. A good demonstration of this is the Diprotodon, an extinct marsupial whose closest living relative is the wombat. The two also did look in some ways similar, except unlike the wombat, the Diprotodon was massive,
a giant
plausibly
wombat?
weighing up to 3.85 tons, which makes it equal in weight to a fully grown Asian elephant. This size
I thought I was going to see a
durability.
fully grown Asian man because of the picture. Because of the picture. I'm like, what? You see? Like they put a picture of a man. A fully grown Asian man. Like, what the hell? That's a bit. What is this guy seeing? This guy doing a joke? But that doesn't even work. You know, if he was a fully grown American man, I would get to. Where did they put a man?
And would have made hunting it a questionable endeavor, a task further discouraged by the presence of a surprisingly strong bite. The Diprotodon was strictly a vegetarian.
Bro can smell colors.
But nonetheless, it still had a nasty bite. that reached 11,000 newtons in force at the back molars, giving it more than enough power
Breathe
to
almost as much as your mother. Good one,
technically
sir.
break a human's femur. In addition to elephant-sized wombats, birds too were supersized in prehistoric Australia.
Of course, birds are
at the
horrifying
time,
too.
especially the Genyornis. This ancient bird resembled the once
That's one of my fucking what's it called? Dude, I don't even know how you call it. I'm so sexless. I don't even know what you call the pussy doctor. That's what my pussy doctor told me I have. Winks.
widespread terror birds. However, it actually belonged to a separate family of flightless birds, known as the Dromornithidae, or thunderbirds.
That too.
All members of this family, Genyornis included, are believed to have been herbivores despite their menacing appearances.
Yeah, that one.
Though, like many ancient Australian creatures, they did have size to help balance their defenses out. The Genyornis in particular routinely grew to heights taller than humans, with the average individual coming in at 2 meters or 6.5 feet.
Dude.
Moreover, this bird had
Oh my god, all of a sudden these birds are so attractive. Oh my god. 6.5 feet? Oh my god. All of a sudden, I just really like these birds for some reason. Oh, I can't really put my finger on it. Oh my god. You get it? It's like, whatever. It's fine. You don't care. It's whatever. It's fine. It's okay. It's whatever.
giant robust bones that gave it durability and heftiness, resulting in it weighing a full quarter of a ton. And if its size wasn't enough of a deterrent, the Genyornis could always use its beak or sharp claws to ward off predators
The
that got
big
too
ass
close.
beak.
By now, it should be obvious that ancient Australia was the last place you'd want to visit.
Dude, this kangaroo is like, paint me like one of your French girls. Look at him.
And just to really drive it all home, remember that nearly every dangerous animal in Australia today was also still around back then. And that's not to mention other extinct animals which I didn't
Who is bro? Who is bro?
mention, including large turtles and additional extinct crocodilians like the Prehistoric. And of course, nature itself was also harsh with extreme droughts being present. And yet, despite all of these odds, humans still survived in Australia.
Would win.
In fact, not only did they survive, but they managed to thrive and dominate the lands,
Yeah, I would
with
win.
evidence showing that they preyed upon multiple of the megafauna mentioned today, suggesting that maybe we were actually the scariest animals
I think
around.
we are. I think we're OP, man. I think we just, you know, it's just human W, man. We just, you know, all these scary ass animals, huge poisonous animals, and we win, man. We win. Dude, easy. Easy. No diff. No diff. Yes.